Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Joining me today is Shekhar Iyer ji as we cover some fast-moving developments in and around India. And a small request to all of you to like this video. We all know how well Shekhar Iyer ji takes a look at all these events. Very, very objective. So please give us confidence, encourage us by liking this video. And if you have not already subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe to our channel. Let's welcome Shekhar Iyer ji. Shekhar ji, namaskar and welcome to P Guru's channel.
Namaskar, Shriyarji. Greetings to all your viewers across the globe. Thank you.
Sir, something interesting happened, sir. In a hangout just 2-3 days ago with another political watcher, Telangana, they said that it is possible that BRS and BJP might form an alliance because Kishan Reddy was not willing to come down to Telangana as the state president. And now that's a surprise. Actually, Kishan Reddy has come down. Not only that, today, Modi has really taken hammer and tongs to the KCR family. So what does one make of it, sir? Does it mean now that BJP had decided that we are going to fight this thing tooth and nail?
Well, it looks like it's the way the Prime Minister went hammer and tongs at KCR, his family, but the way the administration has gone on for all these years, and how Telangana has missed a lot of opportunities, though center has pumped a lot of money on highway projects. And he did not spare the dynasty. He said, look, this is all. And there are, as you mentioned, sir, you did a hangout, but speculation has been the fact that Bandi Sanjay Kumar was removed. He was seen more critical of KCR, and a soft-spoken Kishan Reddy was sent. People said, "Look, there is a deal," and this happened just after KCR made that remarks in Nagpur, where he went to inaugurate an office of his Bharat Rashtriya Samiti, where KCR said, "Look, Prime Minister and me are great friends, and we have been, we are." We exchange ideas about good practices, best practices, what my government does, and all that. But that is all today. I think the air is clear now because the way the Prime Minister spoke, and today I heard not only the Prime Minister, I heard Bandi Sanjay Kumar. He was also asked to address the crowd in Warangal, and he also went hammer and tongs. And in fact, I did remark to a central minister today that for whatever little Telugu I can understand, it sounded more like dialogues from Bahubali. Full anger and full with resolve and repeated pledge, and in between praise of Modi. How Modi's leadership is going to ensure that end of and then I also heard Itala Rajender. Rajender is more softer than Bandi Sanjay Kumar. His style is different, and he has been made chairman of the BJP campaign committee. So I think basically from what we saw today in Warangal, after the Prime Minister inaugurated several projects, then he addressed the BJP workers at a separate rally, that the changes have been made with respect of Telangana BJP setup is only to ensure that Rajinder and Bandi Sanjay Kumar don't clash, so that there is a neutral person as BJP president. And probably Bandi Sanjay Kumar may shift, maybe be brought in as a minister in Delhi. I mean, that's the buzz. Of course, one is not sure. Now, but the way the thrust of it means until the assembly elections, I don't see any kind of deal or anything. And of course, KCR has been facing a lot of heat because his son is under investigation. His daughter has been, quizzed by ED at least a couple of times. And the thing is that the other things may follow. She may be even arrested. So this is the talk going on in Delhi and Hyderabad and everywhere. So, but the softness is coming from the KCR side, because the other day I heard his son KTR saying that, look, this opposition unity business is not going to take off because you can't be just targeting a person. You have to have some alternative political ideology or alternative political game plan. So that all goes to show that the Prime Minister, at least from his side, he is not signaling easing of any tension. And I do not see a, what happened in the, he spoke in Bhopal about NCP, and then Ajit Pawar walked in. I don't see a situation here, because the father, son, and daughter, at least till the Telangana elections, they are all together. Though we have heard about differences between the brother and the sister and their cousins, we have heard about it. But as on today, it appears this is going to be, because the Prime Minister mentioned how that these people, how he has been, KCR has been nurturing a dynasty, his family, and at the cost of development and of Telangana. Telangana could have done much better. Telangana already had an advantage following the bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh, but much more could have been done. And he said there is not a single project that has been executed in Telangana which did not involve corruption. I mean, serious charges by the Prime Minister. And then the Prime Minister did a roadshow also in Warangal after, he went to Bhadrakali temple, the famous Bhadrakali temple in Warangal. And so, but interestingly, the lot of projects that were announced, they are all they are, I must say, relates to the entire belt. We the Hyderabad Warangal belt, and then a railway project in Kazipet, then development of this textile belt. So many things have been announced, and then these all these highways, network of highways, expansion of highways. I mean, in terms of projects, I think Telangana is going to see a lot of development, a lot of investment, particularly infrastructure, and creation of new industrial areas and the special economic zone. There is already a Warangal special economic zone, which all go to show that whoever wins the elections, whether it is BJP or whether it is BRS, we are going to see that Telangana is poised for a lot of investment, lot of growth possibilities in terms of projects that were announced today. Some of them were dedicated to the nation. So, a lot of things are happening. But on the political side, I cannot see any compromise at this stage. I mean, until the elections, at least till the assembly elections over, one can be sure the battle is going to be fought very seriously and very in a very serious manner. And I don't see any secret understanding or anything. But post Telangana elections and in the run up to Lok Sabha elections, that is going to be interesting phase, depending on you know how well or how well the BJP does or how well the BRS does.
Thank you, sir. One small observation, Shekharji. Itala Rajender is a new import into the BJP, and he has been in many parties before. I don't even remember which one, but I know he has been in more than one party. He was brought in because he has a fair amount of hold in some districts of Telangana, and that he can probably get some good base groundwork and things like that. On his side, do you think he's angling for the CM job right away? I mean, it's going to be a little bit of what I would call as unusual if you bring in somebody and then instantly you make him the chief minister. What about all the people who have toiled for years in Telangana, especially RSS and BJP?
Well, I don't think they are going to project anyone as chief minister. Well, I mean, certainly no, because these are the two prominent names that were being talked about, with Bandi Sanjay Kumar as Telangana BJP chief. Everyone thought that he is a natural. It is a natural projection, which because Itala Rajender has brought a value addition to the BJP's attraction in some pockets, and particularly Rajender has been very close to KCR one time. He was health minister, and he has held other portfolios, and he knows a lot of people in the KCR setup. So the idea was, and he's more soft spoken compared to Bandi Sanjay Kumar. And the idea was, okay, I have both of them. That's why you will see that he has been made the chairman of the campaign committee, which means if he can work hard and bring a result, then he can make his case could be stronger. Similarly, Bandi Sanjay Kumar also, initially, I saw the Prime Minister a lot of praise for his organizational work. He also is not an original BJP person. He also came from the Congress. So, in terms of BJP's problem in Telangana is that they had to bring senior faces from other parties. At Of course, Congress, KCR did the same thing. He took away the Congress, a lot of people from the Congress. Some of them are coming back. But after the Khammam rally of Rahul Gandhi, in which some people joined, now this today's meeting, I think, should give a strong message to the rank and file of the BJP that BJP is in it in a serious contender. I mean, that's the message from the Prime Minister today. It's not that the battle is suddenly after the Karnataka victory for the Congress that this battle is going to be between KCR and Congress. Certainly not. I think that is the central message that the Prime Minister sought to give from Warangal today. That BJP is a serious fighter in this, and they will definitely do everything possible to see that in every constituency possible that they will put up a very good fight.
Sir, last question before we move on to the next topic. Isn't Kishan Reddy RSS / BJP, sir?
He is, but he belongs to the Reddy community.
So, sir, that is okay. See, my question was, first of all, if the person knows the ground, the Karyakarta level, I know that's the hard workhorse, right?
No, that's a workhorse. But then, sir, if leaders like Kishan Reddy were sufficient for the BJP to, outpace KCR, then there would have been no need for even Bandi Sanjay Kumar or Rajendra to come. The very fact they needed these people, extra hands, and Kishan Reddy has been, he has been focusing on the party work definitely, and I think, see, if a situation comes where if they have to because essentially this time what they were worried about was a kind of infighting between supporters of Bandi Sanjay Kumar and Itala Rajendra. They wanted to put an end to this so that at least everybody will concentrate on BJP working towards winning seats rather than even before the results have come or we know the tallies. Everybody thinks they are the chief ministerial candidate, and then they don't win in the elections. So I think they wanted to end that by putting a person who would be seen as soft spoken and more or less a neutral in this factional issues, at least for the time being. So that was the essential idea of sending Kishan Reddy. And also you have got Prakash Javadekar as in charge. He has been put in charge of Telangana. So you can see that the whole idea is, I think, to cool tempers within the party first, and then focus on working towards picking the right candidates, because these factional fights can mean, people start insisting their own nominees to be given the ticket. Because the BJP's problem has been, in many states, as we saw in Karnataka, a lot of infighting, undid them in many constituencies. That is something they would like to avoid in Telangana. And we are going to see PM making more forays into Telangana, because generally a feeling is that after Karnataka, probably BJP is not investing enough of its resources or energy. I think that picture is clear. They are going to fight it. They are going to fight it with full force, because that's what the Prime Minister wants, apart from the serious battles in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, and Madhya Pradesh.
Thank you, sir. And a small request to all of you to like this video. Only 1 in 3 of you have liked it. So far, there are about 700 people watching. The count is around 210 or 211. May I please request all of you to like this video? Thank you in advance. Let's take a quick look at Bengal. Bengal elections at any level, you tend to have violence. Sir, why does this violence happen? I mean, are the voters forced to not even come out to vote, sir? What happens?
Indeed, it's a very sad day, Shekhar. I mean, it is not getting enough attention. People are talking about Manipur. Yes, Manipur is a very, very serious issue. But Bengal, can you imagine? 18 people have lost their lives today. And since the election was announced, already 37 people have died. And these are all poor villagers, panchayat level election. And so many candidates are there. People who are today not allowed to vote. In some places, booths were captured. So, and already the ballot papers were stamped. In some cases, the ballot papers were taken away. I heard in one instance, water was poured. And country-made bombs have taken a huge toll of lives. And they have been targeting the candidates. And incidentally, sir, Mamta is playing as if she is the saint in this whole thing. So first she got a leg injury because she hopped out of a helicopter when she had gone to the North Bengal, and then she had a ligament tear or something, which is quite serious. But then that she was also seen limping to the hospital and refused to stay in the hospital in Calcutta's SSKM hospital. She said, "I'll go home and get treated." Because she said that, then she didn't come out for campaign. Then they got her to speak through mobile phone, which was put at very public address system to give her because her thing is, I think she wanted to show that she is not party to what her party cadres have been doing, unleashing violence, threatening candidates, not allowing. First, they did allow them to file nomination. And Shreya, the most unfortunate part is, despite Kolkata High Court, it is Kolkata High Court which is completely which directed the deployment of central forces. Lot of companies of central forces arrived, but they were not deployed. BSF has said that we were not even told which are the sensitive booths. The district magistrates and subdivisional officers just kept us on standby. Nowhere they went. And yeah, you had Abhishek Banerjee giving running commentaries. Look, with central parliamentary forces, BJP cannot win election. This election is not about BJP Trinamool, sir. The same thing has happened to Congress candidates. Same thing happened to CPM candidates. But the ecosystem which normally attacks BJP if there is a similar situation, they are all silent today. Excepting even in the Congress, there is only one leader speaking, that is Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. Because in Murshidabad, there has been terrible violence. Also in Malda. And you remember there is only one member party called Indian Secular Front, which consists of a mullah. He and his constituency also there was problem because he has been speaking against Trinamool, he has been speaking against Mamata, which goes to show that she has sanctioned this violence. And I find apologists, for her saying that this is the way it has happened in Bengal. This is right from Siddhartha Shankar Ray's time, that all the civic local elections, village elections, and so these elections are becoming important because they are seen as weathervane before the Lok Sabha elections or assembly elections. Sir, and the irony of it, sir, irony of it, I remember Mamta, when she was in the opposition, and I have interacted with her, and she used to say how bad things have become, how 30 years of left rule has institutionalized political violence. So there is no caste violence in Bengal. All the violence that you see is political violence. And people are, first they don't allow anybody to go file nomination. And today was a day, and then they don't allow anybody to campaign. Thirdly, today they didn't allow people to vote. So many lives. And today, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, the Congress leader, was mentioning a case of a lady who was a candidate. She was attacked. A bomb was thrown on, and her little girl was accompanying her. And she was badly injured, and probably she died also. Sir, this time, even the governor, the new governor, A.C. Bose, and he also, C.A. Bose, rather, C. Ananda Bose, he visited some of the areas where violence took place. He set up a box in Raj Bhavan, but all that to no impact, because what I am hearing is all the parties are going to Kolkata High Court when it opens on Monday and tell them, look, you have to cancel some of these elections because they did follow your instructions. Sir, the state government as well as the state election commissioner, and look, sir, it's a very funny thing. I think our viewers must know it is a governor who appoints a state election commissioner. And this time there is a person called Rajiva Sibha. And this person, the state government, Mamata recommended, first she sent one name of this Rajiv Simba. And governor rejected, saying that why are you sending one name? You send me two names, at least a list of names. Then two other names were sent, and governor chose the same Rajiv Simha which the Mamata wanted. That is why today Suvendu Adhikari, the BJP leader and leader of the opposition, and who is one-time close ally of Mamata, saying that governor made a mistake of appointing a person, state election commission, who even moved to the Supreme Court, challenging the Kolkata High Court order asking deployment of paramilitary forces, which is the State Election Commission is totally hand in gloves with the Chief Minister setup. And at any case, the Trinamool is the most dominating, party in Bengal. Last time she won more than 85% of these panchayats and Jilla Parishads and all that. So what would have happened if she had allowed actual gay? And Mamata, I remember, sir, she during the left rule, she used to bring people from Bengal to Delhi and hold exhibition of those who had lost their finger because they voted for a party other than CPM. Some people, they had their arms cut, some had their legs amputated by the CPM goons to show that that is terrorizing voters. If you dare to vote anybody other than CPM, this we would do. She held an exhibition. I am talking of the period before 2011 when she first came to power. So everybody thought she herself, being a victim of this political violence unleashed by Marxists, she would at least set a record and clean up the thing. But unfortunately, whether it is civic elections, municipal election, of course, in assembly election and Lok Sabha election, the Central Election Commission comes. And incidentally, the panchayat elections, they don't use EVM. They use ballot papers. So it's easy to be staged, easy to be manipulated. So it's a very, very tragic story from Bengal today. And indeed, when we often talk of murder democracy, this is exactly what has happened today. But then again, your central Congress is silent. Only Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is speaking. Even the left parties are not saying much because left parties have been so very funny. I don't know. Is it because of all this move for an oppositionity, or they are hoping Mamta would be kind to them and allow an alliance between Congress and CPM and give them some seats? The Lok Sabha, I do not know. But the left stand is very peculiar. Left says, look, we are against the central deployment of central paramilitary forces. The BJP, central should not intervene. We'll sort it out ourselves. But your people are being thrashed there. Your people could not file nomination. I don't know. And as I said, there is always an attempt to normalize this violence. Even today, the Trinamool Congress party has officially said this is all pockets only. This is not a big violence. Sir, 18 people dying is not a big violence. Total 37 killed since the date of announcement of elections. But why is it happening year after year? Because last election, 2018, Panchayat election was equally bloody. And today also the same thing. And what happens, sir, when the assembly elections take place or Lok Sabha election take place, it becomes a tough task for election commission to conduct even those elections. Of course, at least the paramilitary forces are under the control of the election commission. It can direct the returning officers, and usually they completely effect a reshuffle of these officials at the district, so that the returning officers are not ones who are perceived to be close to the Trinamool establishment. But the fact that the violence keeps happening and Mamta playing actually a Mother Teresa, completely her hands off, that as if she is not behind all this, which is very, very unfortunate to say the least.
Very sad, sir. One thing that people have told me, and I could be wrong about this, please feel free to correct me, sir, is that the party in power in West Bengal had their goons. When Congress was dominating, they used to belong to Congress. Then they shifted to CPM, and now they have shifted to TMC. In other words, the goon community is the same. It's just that they shifted parties for whatever reasons. Is that true, sir?
No, the argument that is given is that Siddhartha Shankar Ray's time, they came down heavily on the radical left and also on the left. And that is why during the emergency, a lot of the left cadres were targeted by the Congress. And Siddhartha Shankar Ray was one of the architects of emergency, and he was also an advisor to Indira Gandhi. So they say that, look, that is a time when the police was unleashed and even the Congress musclemen were also unleashed. Subsequently, when we saw 3 decades of left rule under a very benign Jyoti Babu, who was seen as the epitome of Bhadralok. So all these could not ever be related to him. All the scientific rigging, how people from across the borders being brought, made voters, given identity card, ration card, and all that. Those days there was no Aadhaar card, and regularizing their vote bank politics. pattas were given during the left, but those pattas, the original documents were never given. They were always kept with the district CPM functionaries. Like when I went to Vietnam, I found, sir, in communist ruled Vietnam, the economy is market economy. But for all other things, even in the small villages or town, it is the Communist Party's office people who handle all these things. Registration of birth, death, or all these things are handled at. Similarly, during the left rule, the local CPM dadas would decide, even if you had a problem with your partner or your marriage or a house, you want to dispose house, you need clearance from the local CPM dadas. Now, what we are seeing here is, so that is how during the left, and that's why they said it's a scientific rigging, where, wherever necessary, they use terrorized voters, wherever necessary, they used a more polished way, and Jyoti Babu was above all this. So you had newspaper managements in Bengal having policies, they were pro Jyoti Babu but anti CPM. I'm talking of one of the largest circulated paper doing that policy. I mean, and I think today probably Mamata is hoping, because Mamata could never get that kind of, she couldn't build her image like Jyoti Babu. Because Jyoti Babu was a different, he belonged to a different generation. So Mamata was always seen as totally in hand in glove with all these things. And initially she said, look, our people, our cadres are restless. And she also made all those statements to show politically correct statements like, we want parivartan. I mean, we want change, we don't want revenge. All those nice, altruistic statements. But the fact is, parties are found, as you mentioned, and and the left rule actually, I would say, further, integrate this thing as and normalize it rather. The sense this is the way to go about it. But we are talking of grassroots democracy. Trinamool itself means grassroots. Trinamool in Bengali means, Bangla means grassroots. But this is how they are. I mean, you can imagine people, they, and I'm told this is all this fight over these civic bodies is because these civic bodies have budgets running into crores, and the party function at lower level, they want to capture these bodies because they want to siphon off money, and that is how money is siphoned off. And not, and people are not able to even ask, say, build a culvert here, build a bridge here, or, resurface the road. I mean, they are not even able to voice these things because these are totally in the hands of the men who are seen to be on the payrolls of Trinamool, or at least they pay to be on the rolls of Trinamool.
Thank you so much, sir. Now let's take a look at the most important topic of the day. And I hope viewers, you have liked this video and that we have caught up. The number of likes should match the number of people watching. And many of you come and go. And so in effect, the like should exceed the number of people watching. Anyway, we would like to just request you to like the video. Now let's take a look at what is happening in NCP. So this is no longer a fixed match, you think, sir? What is happening? Talk to us through that, sir.
Well, it does look like now things are serious. So, but then even if they are serious, there still can be a patch up, because I found Praful Patel interview being carried in a leading daily, and then even before, first it was put out on the website of that newspaper. Then within hours, I got Praful Patel's tweet and a message saying that, look, I never spoke to this particular paper. There was no such interview. But the paper published it saying that even though Praful Patel denies, because he had said a lot of harsh things on Pawar for the first time on record, because he has been maintaining that Pawar remains my mentor. And then today disclaiming this interview, because he said all the trouble was because Pawar was blind about pushing Supriya Sule's career. But then Sharad Pawar went to Delhi yesterday, that is on Friday, and then he held a meeting of his national executive to accept his authority that this is the real one. And today he is in Chhagan Bhujbal's territory, because Chhagan Bhujbal is another close aide who has walked out on him, and he is very upset. And he has been telling people that what made me really was not Ajit Pawar's behavior, but it was Praful Patel who upset me a lot, that he was so close to me. But still people say that, look, this cannot go on for a long time, for the simple reason that Sharad Pawar cannot, of course, he wants to prove that And that's why he also mentioned about 82 or 92, I am going to keep going. Because Ajit Pawar made a rather, I would say, a remark that he could avoid it. But till then, he was careful. But at the meeting, which he held on Thursday, if I remember right, he said that, look, why can't you give up? I mean, he was telling Sharad Pawar, because you did this drama of resigning from all the posts, then you took back, and then why don't you let the new people come, the younger people to come? So Sharad Pawar reacted to that, saying, whether I may be 82 now, but even 92 I will continue. Which reminds me of a time when, if you recall, sir, when Vajpayee ji, there was pressure on Vajpayee ji to allow LK Advani to become Deputy Prime Minister. Because at that time, Brajesh Mishra was seen as more powerful person, actually the de facto Prime Minister, because of the health condition of Vajpayee. And Brajesh Mishra was seeing more friendly towards Congress than to the other BJP people. And the rank and file felt that Advani should get some role. I mean, his role should be formalized. So that's how this deputy PM was thought of. So at that time, Venkaiah Naidu was BJP president. And I'm talking of this period of 2003, when the pressure was mounting on Vajpayee, and Vajpayee didn't like a bit that even the RSS was wanting that Vajpayee should agree to make the deputy Advani deputy PM. So then Venkaiah Naidu made a statement saying that Vajpayee and Advani are, if Vajpayee ji is a Vikas Purush, a person for development, Advani ji is Loha Purush, he was the Iron Man. Vajpayee did like a bit. The first opportunity he got, Vajpayee, gave, in his typical way of speaking, and either tired or retired. So I'm reminded of that Vajpayee's response. Just as today Sharad Pawar saying, I'm 82 or 92, I'll keep going. And but I think this newfound thing, which is so unpower like, I mean, un-Sharad Pawar like, I must say, because Sharad Pawar is not known to easily lose his balance or cool. But I think somewhere along the Dhritarashtra syndrome has caught on, and he is still thinking about his daughter and about Supriya Sule. That's why I still maintain there can be a peace formula if Supriya Sule can be accommodated at the center, and Sharad Pawar will begin to see that how important development is for Maharashtra and for the country under Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Thank you so much, sir. And now let's take some questions from our viewers. Hey Ram, thank you so much. Got to know from my friend who is a PA for a key minister of BRS that a deal was done with BJP. Not sure if Modi's blazed guns are mere politics.
Well, the speculation, as we just mentioned, this speculation has been going on. But I don't think there can be any, otherwise, BJP will not give up Telangana so easily, sir, because they have invested in the last few years. And KCR has been unkind to Modi ji. He did not receive him. Even this time, he did not receive him. He has been attacking him for the last more than a year or so. So, and as I told you, Modi ji is not someone who would forget all these things or forgive all these things so easily. Of course, everything is possible in politics today. The case in mind is this latest development in Maharashtra. So whatever will, whether there could be a deal or an understanding, one thing is clear, sir. BRS cannot do business with Congress. A Congress-led setup, he cannot do business because he had broken away from Congress only. And he cannot think of again having any understanding with the Congress. And Rahul Gandhi will also not spare him. And with the Rahul-led Congress, KCR, but some arrangement is possible probably only after the assembly elections. If KCR manages to get a third term and secures his position as far as state is concerned, and if he manages to push his son to to occupy the chief minister's gaddi, then probably all these other things can happen. Because we must also see how the BJP is going to perform in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh. If the results are not to the satisfaction of BJP, then obviously they will also look at BRS as another ally. And similarly, KCR will look at BJP and Modi as, as a person easier to deal with than with the Congress. So that's why these are all post But the speculation that was sparked by merely on appointment of Kishan Reddy, I believe is more to do with balancing these internal equations, which were rather jarring and were creating problems among the rank and file.
Thank you, sir. Next question, please. Akash wants to know, why is Modi giving more freedom to Mamta Banerjee and why is he not posing president rule? Is it DKS and Siddaramaiah fight resolved or is it a temporary settlement?
Well, as far as Mamta issue is concerned, president rule is easier said than done, because if you had to impose a president's rule, the entire law and order situation would fall on center's hands. And Trinamool people they are good at violence, so they will go on a rampage. And then it can be shown that it is center which is to take the blame. And besides, after the Supreme Court verdict was very clear on the SR Bombay case, and subsequently that you cannot dismiss a government like that. And even if you dismiss a government, impose president, you have to keep the assembly suspend animation. You cannot dissolve the assembly. You have to keep it suspend animation till the parliament approves it. So for another 6 months, they cannot do anything. And president rule at this moment, they will not want Mamata to gain sympathy again, because the last 2021 assembly election, Mamata played on the sympathy factor. She managed to show that Bangla May, daughter of Bangla, daughter of Bengal, has been victimized by these northern invaders, that is BJP, with Amit Shah and other leaders going hammer and tongs, and particularly prime ministers that Didi, oh Didi, that was seen as an affront to the daughter of Bengal. So that backfired. So I think they would not allow. I'm just recalling the slogans and speeches just to show that BJP has learnt its lesson. They would rather not follow that aggressive course. Though today, leader of the opposition, Suvendra Adhikari, has indeed demanded imposition of president's rule. Because if there is at all indication of a breakdown of constitutional machinery, which is the ground for imposing president's rule, today's the mayhem that you are seeing in the rural Bengal in the name of civic elections. I mean, there could not be a greater, a fitter situation. But then president rule is no answer, because the verdict, Supreme Court verdict is clear. So I don't think that is, of course, demands will be made that, this should happen. But definitely one can see that Mamata fears the voters of Bengal. She, somewhere along, despite her dominating presence, despite Trinamool being everywhere, but the factions within the Trinamool, the problems within the, sir, we saw just recently, how one set of the Trinamool leader set the house of fire of another Trinamool leader, killing his family members. Such is, and that was over collection, collection of money.
Next question, please. Mr. Bharani wants to know, don't you think that we need to dismiss WD Didi's government? The violence is insane, and one of their party spokespersons is openly threatening people if they choose to vote BJP. This is outrageous. I think we just answered this. Next one.
Yeah, we just answered this. So there was a second part to that question, the previous question. About whether DKS, whether DK Shiv Kumar and Siddaramaiah have resolved. Well, at the moment, I think till the Lok Sabha elections, they are going to keep quiet. And because both have responsibilities and both will be held accountable if they do not deliver a good number of Lok Sabha seats. So at the moment, there is here, but the rumblings are still there, very much there. And one sees that, that of course, Siddaramaiah has presented his budget also, where he has increased the taxes on liquor. So you can see that so the resource mobilization has become such a big problem for Karnataka, having incurred all this. And from September 15th, in the neighboring Tamil Nadu, you will see the 1,000 rupees being given to to every woman of eligible family. That is going to happen now, and that I am told is also because the DMK is also worried, that they have been facing huge anti-incumbency issues, and somewhere along their image has been on the slide. So this is to check that the payment is being made from September itself.
Next question, please. We did that. Rahul Rathod wants to know, should West Bengal be put under? We have already answered this. We have already answered this. Next question, please. Pawan Kishore wants to know, Namaskaram, there is a buzz that Nitish gonna flip again. Should India allow him to join back given his attitude of Palturam and people are really upset with this?
Sir, absolutely. Nitish Kumar is rattled by what has happened in Maharashtra, and suddenly he has discovered that within his own party there is a lot of resentments over the way he has been handling this his partner Rashtriya Janata Dal, and as well as how he has been cozying up to the Congress and trying to project Rahul Gandhi. The Patna meeting was all about telling Rahul, "Aap kuch bol dijiye," and he didn't himself have anything to say about that meeting when he was the host. So we saw Nitish Kumar engaging his party MLAs and MPs once again. And to Capitol, he went and met the deputy chairman of the Rajya Sabha, you know, Harivansh Narayan Singh, who is seen more close. Though he belongs to Janata Dal United, he's seen more closer to the Prime Minister. And despite his party boycotting the inauguration of the new parliament building,
He
he
was there.
was he was there, and Prime Minister probably gave him an important role of partially conducting the function. So, but what I gather is after the meeting between Nitish Kumar and Harvansh Narayan Singh, Harvansh has probably conveyed to some NDA leaders that Nitish probably regrets, this somersault from BJP to RJD again, and he's not very happy. He's finding it very difficult, and there is a pressure from RJD leadership to somehow merge JDU and RJD. And this is what I'm hearing. I haven't subject to verification, but this is what Harivansh is supposed to have conveyed to some India leaders. But within the BJP in Bihar, they have been appealing and they have been saying, "Look, for heaven's sake, don't get this guy back in." And it was Lalu who gave him the term, the Paltu Master.
Next one, please. Srinivas Jayaprakash wants to know, Namaste sir, AP and TS have 42 Lok Sabha seats in total. What will be BJP's strategy to win maximum possible seats? Will they depend on alliances?
Well, in Telangana, it has to be it will be a three-cornered fight, and they have to fight it out for every seat. Last elections, they did manage to win. That was quite impressive considering
4 out of 17. Yeah.
the challenges
One
they
of the
faced.
ones that they won was Kavita Rao's seat.
Which was won by
Nizamabad.
this. Now, as far as Andhra Pradesh is concerned, sir, that is a very, very one must say, people are within the party they have been saying why Purandeshwari has been put. What is the BJP's plan for Andhra Pradesh? Because she is also like Kishan Reddy seen as a very soft face. In fact, there were other younger leaders who are more aggressive and who have been opposing Jagan more strongly, more aggressively. Of course, on the other hand, you have TDP, which has an alliance with Pawan Kalyan, and Pawan Kalyan has been speaking to BJP leaders to say we must include TDP also in the alliance, and that's why we saw Jagan rushing to Delhi and pleading with BJP leaders that do not include PDP in, do not align with them. Whatever you need from Andhra Pradesh, we will do. But then they will have to at least try to win few seats. Otherwise, they can't just leave the ground open to between Chandrababu Naidu and Jagan Mohan. So I think this is going to be a very, very state. But then with Purandeshwari in charge, there is a lot of misgivings in the rank and file as to will BJP really put up a strong fight? Will BJP, of course, the Prime Minister cannot ignore Andhra Pradesh, and therefore, because there are a number of Lok Sabha seats there. So one is going to see a strategy that may be worked out, and which we will have to see how serious is the battle is going to be. I mean, at least they should win at least 3-4 seats. Otherwise, it will be a loss of face for BJP in Andhra Pradesh, particularly.
Sir, Purandeshwari, has she been a minister or has she been an MP before, sir?
Yes, she was a minister. She was a minister in the Manmohan Singh government.
Okay.
If I remember right, she handled health portfolio. She was a minister, and she is the younger sister of, rather the elder sister of Chandrababu Naidu's wife.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So there is a karma factor as well as the internal family thing, because being NTR's daughter.
Sir, growing up, I have seen Chandrababu Naidu's wife and Chandrababu Naidu sometimes at this Skandagiri Murugan temple.
Oh,
She was there almost every week, and very, very devout, very, very. I'm talking about period maybe up until 1980s when I was still there, and she was a regular. Everybody knew her, and sometimes Chandrababu Naidu also would come. I mean, that temple, a lot of politicians come because somehow that Subramania is considered to be very powerful. So, to me, they talk about Durga being very pious and everything in Tamil Nadu. You should have seen that lady. I mean, she would spend 6 7 hours at the temple, sir. Just sit in front of the murti and meditate. Very, very pious. Whatever be her husband's political leanings, whatever his paltu or backstabbing his own father-in-law and all that stuff, that person, she was a very pious person. I don't know how Purandaradeshwari's religious leanings are. To me, it seems like this appointment seems to indicate TDP is not going to be considered. I don't think politically the two will be together.
yeah, I quite possible, because the only thing is, I mean, the general feeling is that she's not a very aggressive leader.
Hmm.
But sometimes aggression doesn't work in all situations. The fact that she is NTR's daughter, and she was earlier also, they say that she was also earlier in charge of Andhra Pradesh. She could not do much. So, what is the point in bringing her back again? That question is being asked. Well, at the moment, there are no elections in Andhra Pradesh, but if Telangana BJP manages to have an impressive show, that could, may force the party leadership to look at Andhra Pradesh afresh. And what about because what is being pointed out is that the Jagan Mohan government also has a huge anti-incumbency issues. Though he managed to win by elections and
My
civic
good
elections.
friend Raghu Ram Gopal, Raghu Ram Raj, Raghu Raj Ram. I'm missing him, but he's an MP from Andhra Pradesh. Raghu Ram Raju, I think, RRR. And he basically he's persona non grata in his own constituency. He more or less is tied down to New Delhi. Usually he watches. I'm sorry if I'm killing your name, boss. You need to say hello to me. Maybe you should come on my channel one more time. So thank you, sir. But yeah, you are right. Anti-incumbency is there in YS Yuva Shramika Raitu Congress, YSR Congress. Not to be
Yes,
confused with the initials of YSR.
yes.
Next question. Thank you so much, Siddharth Kataki. He has a question. Will there be a ramification on opposition unity moves past this violence as seen today?
That's a very good question, Siddharth. In fact, I was just talking to somebody in Kolkata before I came on your show. So I was told that, in fact, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, the Congress leader, who is the real I mean, the person who can't stand Mamta, who has been opposing her from the beginning, and she also reciprocates his feelings. He was saying that the Congress should not sit on the same table as on the same table where Mamta is there. Congress should not entertain her, and she should not be invited for this the next round, which is to take place in Bangalore. Saying that how can you have her, could sit with her and discuss a strategy for the Lok Sabha election when she has completely demoralized and attacked our workers at rank and file. I mean, he's also leader of the Lok Sabha. He's a leader in the Lok Sabha also, Adhir Ranjan. And because his Murshidabad saw a lot of violence, Shreyaji. I mean, his lot of Congress workers were attacked. Their voters were not allowed to leave their homes, and then many of them, sir, found to the utter surprise when they reached the polling booth. If they did manage to reach, they found their votes had already been cast. So that has, of course. So therefore, the question as to whether Congress will sit, of course, Mamata will also go. I mean, she 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 wants to project now she's above all this. Whatever happened in Bengal is not something she wanted.
Was she there in Bihar, sir? In that Patna meeting? Was she there?
Of course, sir. Of course, she was very much there. She was
Hmm.
very much there, and she made it a point to speak before Sitaram Yechuri and left
Hmm.
immediately after speech because she didn't want a situation where she has to sit and listen to Sitaram Yechury's speech.
A little tiny battles in between all this opposition front.
Super egos.
Thank you, Hiram. Governor rule calmed Kashmir. Why not in West Bengal?
Well, Jammu Kashmir is, I think, easier to handle than Bengal because you, you saw the plight of the paramilitary forces, sir. I was told in the last time when municipal elections were held, paramilitary forces were again sent because opposition wanted, Congress and BJP, they all wanted. But they were not deployed anywhere. So most of the paramilitary forces and the officials who landed in Kolkata, they ended up taking, they had so much of time, they roamed around Kolkata and took selfies outside the Victoria Memorial Hall because they were
Uh,
not deployed.
Rahul Rathod wants to know any updates on UCC, sir. There is a lot of reports of draft not ready yet, and Uttarakhand impeachment implement UCC before 2024 Lok Sabha.
Yes, there is a possibility that Uttarakhand, the draft that has been prepared by that committee under former Supreme Court Judge Ranjana Desai, that UCC Uttarakhand may bring in a law to implement it. That, but we are told that may serve as a template, basically on four issues. That is marriage, divorce, inheritance, and then succession. These are four areas they will probably look at. They'll come with the law. So, and that could serve as a. But one thing, the Prime Minister's call, rather Prime Minister's challenge to the opposition on this issue has already triggered a very big debate. And but the Congress and other opposition leaders have realized, and including Jamaat-e-Islami, the Jamaat-e-Ulema Hind had opposed it without even seeing what are the proposals. But Jamaat-e-Islami has taken a stand that they would rather wait for what the draft brings. And very interestingly, Shreyaji, you had yesterday only Guru Murthy gave an interview to Republic TV and wrote an article also where he says that today the Muslim groups are talking about the sanctity of the Shariat law of 1937. But Guru Murthy has done some bit of research and brought out points to say that before 1937, Muslims in India were following the Hindu code and the Hindu law. And in Shariat, which was supposed to be Quranic, guided by Quran and Quranic practices recommended by Islam, and Shariat was brought to protect the interest of the zamindars and landowners, because otherwise the original Shariat doesn't talk of all these things which was incorporated in the 37 Act. So Guru Murthy's contention is a very interesting contention, is that look, the British, in pursuit of their divide and rule policy, they encouraged the Shariat law and tried to show that, but they incorporated the Hindu laws because these people were following the Hindu practices, Hindu tradition when it came to inheritance and when it came to other aspects, which because these were not allowed under the original Shariat, which people often compare. And today they are saying the Shariat Act of 1937 is very, very sacrosanct.
Till 1905, Muslims used to do Pitru Tarpan also. So you might ask me the question, so what happened in 1905? Muslim League happened. The party Muslim League was formed. That's where things started becoming more of the division became much more widened. The Ali brothers and anyway, so this is where the things started going in different ways. Jagannathan sage, Purandeshwari is also a pious, well-groomed, disciplined, and gentle lady befitting the charisma of her illustrious father. Okay, thank you so much. Next one, please. Krishnamurthy Hunagund, I hope I said that right. Violence in West Bengal shows why the ecosystem wants elections to be held using ballot papers.
Yes, I
think all state elections are like that, right?
No, particularly
state
civic
inside.
election. I
Civic
mean,
elections. Yeah, yeah.
civic elections, of course, but this is I mean, what I would say is that probably this is, of course, the parties that ask for it are those parties which it's like the RJD, Samajwadi Party. They keep raising the doubts about EVM. That's why there is a term which is used, EVM bahana. When you lose elections, you blame the EVM.
Next one, please. Varun Virmani wants to know, assuming worst case that BJP is losing Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh MP and Telangana too, what is the future of Modi's 2024 PM elections?
Well, I don't think they are going to lose all the four states. I don't think that is going to happen. Definitely, they may do well in Rajasthan. Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh are going to be very, very tough. I mean, that the BJP, but I think it's tough for both the parties. And I mean, particularly Madhya Pradesh is going to be equally a Herculean task for Congress as well as BJP. I mean, it's not an easy election for either side. Now, question is, if they lose these four states, I mean, hypothetically speaking, it indeed will, dampen the atmosphere. It somehow will appear that the momentum which could have, see, already the Karnataka election has brought that jolt to that momentum, and that is now being sort of picked up by Prime Minister mounting an aggressive campaign. You can see that all his meetings are seeing a tough talk on the opposition, and today even he mentioned, all they talk in the Warangal meeting. He mentioned they have only loot ki dukan or joot ki bazaar. Saying that, I mean, indirect, obliquely referring to this, what Rahul has been talking, Mohabbat ki dukan, saying that what the Congress and opposition does is loot ki dukan and joot ki bazaar.
All right. Next question, please. Thank you so much, Gajanan Vaze. Pawan Kishore wants to know, will Shiromani Akali Dal, Janata Dal Secular and TDP show up at NDA meet on 18th this month?
Pawanji, there is definitely some behind the scene, reach outs are happening where attempts to, expand the NDA. I do not know whether it will happen this month itself, but definitely the efforts are on. We saw the bonhomie between BJP leaders and Janata Dal Secular in Karnataka, where Kumaraswamy has been going around with a pen drive in his pocket, saying that it has all details of Congress corruption. And Yediyurappa, supported him, saying, I believe whatever he says about the Congress, and we could work together. So it's the magic of the pen drive with Kumaraswamy's pocket about the misdeeds of the Congress. But one thing, sir, JDS has got the network in Bangalore to point out, what is happening where. Because the other day when Surjewala was seen presiding over a meeting with officials of the Bengaluru Mahanagar Palika meeting, that was exposed by Kumaraswamy. So one can't dismiss it off lightly what Kumaraswamy is saying. But
sir, it takes a certain edge to become the chief minister of a state, sir. Of course, we should give him that credit. Absolutely, yes. ASP Shastri wants to know, is BJP losing credibility in entertaining and promoting corrupt leaders from other parties? See Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh.
I mean, this is definitely those who are, hardcore supporters of BJP and who expect BJP to conduct politics with a difference. They are disappointed because they say, what is this? And they believe probably opposition has a point when it talks of the laundromat or washing machine, which
even pointed out. Even we pointed it out.
yes. So, that is there. But then there are others who believe, when BJPs are a larger mission and some of the larger agendas of this country regarding its security, whether it's internal situation and also growth, infrastructure building, all they feel probably this is a strategy adopted, which Lord Krishna, himself mentions in Mahabharata. You have to fight adharma with adharma. Of course, means are, I mean, politically correct answer would be means are as important as ends. So there are a section of BJP voters who will be disappointed. But then your washing powder Nirma song, which I subsequently found, on the YouTube,
Somebody
some people
sang
are
it
even
too.
sang it too. Yes.
Next question, please. Shekharji, what do you think of Andhra's recent development, reasons behind NTR's daughter's promotion?
Well, the idea there again, we just discussed about Purandeshwari, whether she would be an effective leader. Of course, one of your viewers just said that she's a nice person, and then she's a lady who believes in civility. Of course, I mean that's the image one has of her. Even as a minister, her conduct was quite decent. That's what I've heard from people who work with her. But then Andhra Pradesh would require BJP to have a leader who is aggressive, and an aggression that will enthuse the rank and file. But then I think the other message I am told is like having Purandareswari. I think we mentioned in the last hangout also. The the BJP leadership also wants the message that it is willing to hand over charge to women leaders also, some state units. It's in
Yeah,
that
Shobha
context.
Karanje is expected
Yeah,
next.
that's
Yes.
why her
Yeah.
name was being mentioned. That she's a Vokaliga from Puttur, that is Dakshina Kannada, and Vokaliga leader, and who is also close to the Liga strongman Yedurappa. So taking care of the caste equations in Karnataka also. But then she's also a very, very effective leader in the sense she's a very active leader. We have seen her as a minister in Yedurappa's government. The only thing that was held against her was that she was close to Yedurappa. And that was one of the reasons why, she missed the bus in earlier times for the
Yes.
minister's post.
Thank you so much. Last question. Thank you so much, Hiram. Unfair of BJP to not give choice to full Sharia versus UCC. You want to answer that, sir?
Well, we'll have to wait and see what the draft is.
Yeah. It's still not fully
I,
done yet.
yeah,
Yes.
and if it is confined to these four areas, but basically the other day I saw Harish Salve, talking about UCC in his interviews. He was saying, look, this is only going to, because the way I believe probably the government of India has been consulting him on this because his observations are very important, sir. He said in interviews with Navika Kumar of Times Now and subsequently in other interviews also, well, UCC is going to give a choice to either follow the religious what your religion says, or you opt for this your course because the registration of marriage, for instance, which will be made mandatory once the UCC comes. Now, any case, people who are, I mean, our Muslim friends who go abroad who need to apply for visa, they get a marriage registered. Otherwise, they won't get visa. So there is already for going abroad, and many of them have gone and they live and settle in countries where there is a common civil code. There is no separate EA. So if it is okay to travel abroad and settle down and they don't have problem, why should they have a problem once if the law is about common concerning, say, marriage, divorce, maintenance, adoption, succession, inheritance. If these matters and if it is going to emphasize on gender equality, I think that's why you are finding, even the Congress party, initially you saw Kapil Sibal with his, I would say, attempting to show that, he's very clever with his one-liners, asking what is uniform, what is civil, what is going to be the code. You know, even Congress has officially decided to wait for actual the thing to come. And of course, we the other day we saw your Sushil Modi, who is chairman of the Standing Committee on Law, after he met, after the Standing Committee had a session with the Law Commission members, he said that we rather would like to keep tribal out of this because there is some kind of misgivings among tribals, particularly in the northeast, as to whether their customs and traditions will interfere with. In fact, Salve's year was that this is not going to interfere with any tradition because this is going to deal with the four, and where it is falling foul of the constitution or falling foul of the provisions of the constitution, there probably this will prevail. The UCC will prevail. And even mentioned, look, Sati was abolished. because it didn't fit with our understanding of how modern life should be and how modern dignity for human beings, particularly of women.
Thank you so much, sir. Shmati, thanks for your generous donation. And I think we will be signing off today on this note. We'll be back with Shekharji on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Do join us for that. Thank you once again, Shekharji. A treat to listen to you, sir. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you very much.